Greetings, friends. So it's hard to believe we have transitioned from ordinary time the past couple months to now Lent. And Lent is probably something I think a lot of people really misunderstand. What is the point of it? It's more than, well, there are three principles of Lent: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Now, let's face it, most of it seems to be very challenging for all of us. So let's break it all down. The first pillar of Lent is prayer. And it's easier said than done, right? Now, maybe we are praying the rosary. Let's say, for example, we've been praying the rosary once a month and we're still running out of ideas what to do for Lent. Why don't you consider praying a rosary once a week? Maybe you want to pray with friends. For me, I find some power to praying a rosary in a group. Maybe you want to start something from scratch in which you want to invite your own, maybe you want to invite your friends, over the prayer rosary. Even do a rosary walk around your community, praying the rosary, and it's a good evangelization tool. Believe me. I remember there's like a group of Dominicans that run a parish about a mile from where I am, and I just think of people like they're going about their Saturday routines, or whether they're going for a run or they're walking their dogs, and they see a sight of myself and about a dozen other people praying the rosary, and they just stop and stare. They probably do have like some of the negative thoughts in their mind, but I just give it to God. Maybe they'll plant the seeds for them to return to the one holy Catholic apostolic faith. So prayer is very important. And I think we need to do it a little more fervently, too, if we want to draw closer to our life goal, which is heaven. The second pillar is fasting. Now, fasting is more than just giving up chocolate or giving up this. Let's say, for example, you're the type of person that likes to put, let's say, cream and sugar in your coffee every morning. Why don't you consider drinking in black? Yeah, you might want to consider that. Maybe there are things that maybe have developed some unhealthy eating habits, whether you're snacking all the time, whatever. Maybe you want to cut that out and just stick to 3 squares. Heck, here's something better. Just eat one meal and fast the rest of the day. And when you fast intentionally. I mean, at this time of this video being released, there's things going on in Ukraine, and, the tensions between the Ukrainians and the Russians, and the potential of a World War III happening at the moment. There's things like that really makes a difference with your spiritual life. So, and now fasting, like when we also think of fasting, it also thinks that it has to pertain to, food. That's not the case. You can do other things with fasting, such as you want to fast from social media for a while. Maybe you want to give up Facebook completely for Lent. If you can't give it up completely, then cut down on the screen time. I had a nephew that gave up TV for Lent. He even gave up coffee for Lent. So yeah, you can fast from material things and fast from food. For me, I fasted from getting angry at my cat here, who's meowing. You probably can hear. Maybe just pet him to keep, just to keep him happy. But seriously, I have given up my debit card one time, and it just amazes me that I was able to, but when I usually use it for, say, like purchases. And let's face it, like, what's the world gonna be when our debit and credit card's not gonna work? Because let's face it, businesses do need cash one way or another, so you have to break out those piggy banks. And that brings me to one final pillar to Lent. And it's almsgiving. Now, what is almsgiving? Well, it's the practice of giving alms. Now, I'm not saying you got to write a big check or anything like that, but there are some other practical ways you can give alms. I think if you may recall one of the passages in the gospel in which you had the widow woman who gave all that she had while the wealthy people, you know, gave, made, gave some of their wealth and fortune to whatever cause it was. And this poor widow that was homeless or whatever the case is, she had these coins with her and she gave it, and Jesus commended her for that. Now, with almsgiving, you're not required to deplete your whole life savings or anything, but give something to your parish. If you've been given $10, why don't you double your impact? Maybe if you've been given $5 to your parish 50-50, why don't you increase it to 10, 15, or even 20? Well, monthly 50-50s, of course. So, and if you do win it, maybe you want to consider giving your winnings to your parish. Now, if you're in desperate need of money, it's understandable too. I mean, we all walk a mile in different shoes. And, maybe we do need the money to keep up with, mortgage payments. And don't get me wrong. Like, we all have responsibilities ourselves. Like, we have a job and we want to, be good, try to keep our credit score up and, pay the bills. Whether we did borrow money from the bank or whatever the case is, and we have learn responsibility, like, have a good job, get a good paycheck, and every 2 weeks you get paid, or every month, whatever the case is, and we have money aside for the expenses, but even if you do, like, in between your expenses, you have a little bit of extra money, maybe you're about to get a bonus or something from work, maybe you want to give a portion of that bonus to your parish, or you see a homeless person on the street, why don't you give them, why don't you buy a sandwich for them, or a cup of coffee or water, whatever. Those are the three main pillars of Lent that we all need to focus on. And I want to assure those of you who are watching this video that you will be in my prayers as I am in yours. So what am I doing for Lent? That's a good question. Well, I did get Christmas cards from friends and family, so I do plan to pray for a person a day for their intentions. So for those who did send me a Christmas card, I will be praying for you this Lent. I will be doing a little extra reading. I have given up Facebook in the past, but I'm just going to stick to cutting the screen time on there. But I will be posting content here and there, and checking on, like, I run a few pages here and there, so yeah, I'll be doing that. And also I'm going to probably do some extra walking, or some type of, like, some type of exercise, just to keep myself healthy. So I hope and pray all of you have a blessed Lenten journey. And remember, the ultimate goal is not to feel pity for yourself or anything, but instead your goal is to unite your suffering and everything you gave up from the heart during your Lenten journey. Unite all that to Jesus, who hung on the cross and died for you. My brothers and sisters, let us journey together in faith. May God bless you all. Blessed Lent to you.